Yes guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to take you on a little driver journey. We're going to be talking today about the 5 things that you should and that you should not do with a driver. Alright, so rule number 1 is setup. Of course it's setup. We always start on setup. So two things I want to see straight away. Ball position is not going to be the same as an iron. So first of all, rather than being shoulder width apart, we're going to be slightly wider in the feet. Rather than the ball position being in the center, it's going to be on the inside of the left foot, or inside of the lead foot, I should say. Sorry, lefties. So inside of the lead foot, stance a little bit wider. Why? Wider stance gives you a lot more chance to coil up your body, to rotate the hips, gives you a lot more stability because the club is longer, the swing arc is wider. This is going to give us more chance for better rotation, better coil, and a lot more power. You look at irons and you think, well, I hit down on the ball to get the ball airborne. Well, we hit down on the ball to create backspin to get the ball airborne. We do not want to do this with the driver. So number 1, the key thing here is setup. Wider stance, ball position inside of that lead heel. We're not setting this up like a driver. Number 2, we've just stepped into it. Balance. What was wrong with that tee shot? Everything on setup was very, very good. Where on earth was my body weight? Balance was all over the place. I hit that shot and I fell back here. Now, I want to see golfers hit the ball hard. I want to see you rotate with power. However, we've got to be able to control that power. Too often I see golfers hit and kind of fall forwards, or I see golfers hit and kind of fall backwards. But we want to be able to hold some sort of balance. Now, how do we do that? The body weight in particular is the key. So ball position, as we've already spoke about, is going to be just in front of that lead foot. As I swing to the top of the backswing, my body weight is in the center of my stance. My body's rotated, but in regards to my feet, it's on the balls of my feet. So it's neither toes nor heels at the top of the backswing. That means when I start to rotate down into the golf ball, from the balls of my feet and the middle of my stance, the body weight can transfer, rotating the lower body, again working towards the balls of the feet of the left foot. Staying here in posture is absolutely key as well. So too often I see golfers like this, so both feet up, both hit onto the tiptoes, and hips have extended in towards the golf ball. We don't want to see that because we can lose balance on both sides. So balance in the feet is your number 2 for today's video, and it's absolutely crucial. All right, we're into number 3. So what is tip number 3 for the driver? And it's the way you hit the golf ball. So first of all, how high do we tee it up? I would say, as a general rule of thumb, the ball, half of the golf ball, go crowns over the top of the driver as it's sat on the ground. So that's encouraging us to hit up on the golf ball. That is absolutely paramount in hitting driver. The swing arc needs to be so that the bottom of the arc hits towards the middle of the stance. And as I start to come into the golf ball, my golf club is working its way up through the swing arc. So I'm gathering the golf ball on the way up. Where is my body in relation to the golf ball at impact? That's a good question. I heard you all say it. Where is it? Well, it's in the middle of the stance. The head is staying in the center of the stance. The lower body's driving towards the target. Head's in the middle of the stance. Spine angle's tilted slightly back behind the ball and behind the target, as a result of the lower body kind of driving into the ball. So that means my bottom of my arc gets into the center and I can start to hit the golf ball on the way up based on the positioning of my head and my spine as I come into the golf ball. So head stays behind the ball, which allows me to then hit up on the golf ball. And absolutely rip it like that. Very enjoyable. All right, number 4. What did you say? Yes, correct. Strike. Massively important, but that's number 5. We're going to come to that in a second. Number 4, power. How hard do we hit it? The driver's the one golf club in the bag that we're trying to really just get distance out of it. Yes, we need to be accurate. We want to hit the fairways, but we do need power. Too many times I see golfers freeze up. Do not freeze up. Don't freeze your body. Don't try and steer the ball down the fairway. Don't try and get the arms stiff. How do we create power? It is not from the arms, it's not from the wrists. I had a lesson today, earlier this morning actually. We were talking about lower body driving through impact and leaving the head and the spine angle slightly behind the ball to help him hit up, just like I spoke about there in like tip number 3. And he said, but I don't feel like I'm going to wallop it. I started laughing. The word wallop gets me every time. But also, yeah, because you don't feel like you're doing that. And that's a powerful movement for golfers. Everybody, that to us feels like, yeah, we're going to hit that really hard. All that's probably going to do is compromise your swing path, and your angle of attack is going to come in steep, and your spin rates are going to go up, and the ball's going to sky, or it's going to predominantly encourage more of a slice. If in his case he was already slicing, so I want the swing then to feel like it's weaker. Fine, let it feel weaker, but let's get the lower body creating more speed and more rotation and more power. Once you get this swing up to the top of the backswing, we're uncoiling from the ground up. The power starts in your feet, moves its way to your knees, to your hips, to your stomach, to your chest, to your shoulders, to your arms, to your wrists, to the club head, lastly onto the golf ball. All that energy spirals up, rotates up into the club head for maximum power. Whereas if you just use your arms, you just end up going out to the woods and start cutting some wood. And that is not what we're doing out here. We are launching golf balls with drivers. So we stay back on the golf ball, we use the lower body, we drive through first with the hips and allow and encourage the driver to come up through the golf ball with the head and the spine angle staying back. So there is 4 massive points. Now, number 5, as I've already touched on, club face. Where are we hitting it on the club face? Center, of course, that's where we want to try and hit it. Are we in control of that? Sometimes. I'm often hit mine low on the face if I'm going to hit it poorly. If I hit it low on the face, I'm going to create a lot of backspin, I'm going to lose distance. If I hit it from the heel, we're generally going to see the ball move from left to right for a right-handed golfer. If I hit it from the toe, I'm generally going to see a kind of a powerful hooky draw type of spin, which might get me a bit of roll when it lands. So the driver's there to help you and allow for a few of the off-center hits. However, it's not a miracle worker. You need to make sure that you're figuring out the middle of the middle of the club face as well. So there's a few things you can use. You can use some face tape. You can buy that quite easily on the internet. You could use some athlete's foot spray, dry shampoo, anything that kind of talcs up the face. For when you hit a golf shot, you can see exactly where on that club face you have actually hit. And that's key. If you're understanding where you're hitting the face, you can then start to make some minor adjustments to help get it more centered. So guys, give those 5 points a try. They're massively crucial to playing good golf and, more importantly, absolutely mullering the driver. That's what we all want to do. We want to hit this thing miles. Guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please do hit the like button. Also subscribe to the channel if you're brand new. There is so much content for you to catch up on and so much more content to come out as well. But for today, from a glorious sunny Dubai, I'll see you in a bit.